What is up, everybody? So, I asked you guys in my community tab, what video should I make for my third video of the week? Because I actually was kind of out of video ideas. There wasn't anything I was looking forward to making. And a lot of you guys requested, Chris, how are you side decking in heroes? How are you successful with the deck? Let us know how to side deck with this deck. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my personal hero side deck and go over why I believe it's the best side deck to have, and go over, of course, alternatives because everyone plays differently. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. Without further ado, let's begin.
Ice on my wrist, looking kinda cool. Bad bitch with me, she ain't tryna move. Niggas staring at me, what you tryna do? Got me looking at my watch, and it's time to duel.
Starting out by saying, this is my hero deck, right? 40 card main deck. You only really need 40 cards. I'm just gonna go swiftly through the deck. It's not in order by any means. And this deck is very powerful for what it does. Come January, we're supposed to get Sunriser and Liquid Man. And it's gonna make the deck 10 times better because it's gonna give it more combo extenders, which is gonna allow the deck to OTK a lot more. Now, one thing I'll say a lot of hero players do, I'm gonna put this to the side, I'm gonna talk about that, is they're side decking their super polys instead of main decking it. I think personally that is the baddest shit to do. Bad as in there's literally no reason hero players should not be playing this. Now yes, I know people have been successful without it. There was a guy in New York who I believe he top 8 of his regionals without it. He side deck. I don't think he side them. I don't remember the deck profiles. And then I've seen listed main deck too. You know, the other hero YouTuber, JDMBR, I think he side decks these. He doesn't play these in favor of things like infinite impermanence, because impermanence gets you that negate. And some hero players feel like super poly, you can't really get rid of your monster. And that's true. You can't get rid of your monster. But what you can do is play the correct extra deck with super poly, which makes them more alive. I did some testing, and I've been testing the Omni Hero variant of the hero deck, which helps out a lot. Now, what is the Omni Hero variant? Omni Heroes is essentially this package right here: Nova Master, Shining, Ab Zero. I guess you can consider Adoration for the mirror match. Dangerous, and Ascarito. These are essentially, in a nutshell, the Omni Heroes. Why are these essentially the Omni Heroes? Because Adoration is your hero target for when you do the mirror match. When you have Stratos, which Stratos 90% of the time is going to be your main first turn play, you got Ascarito, Ab-Zero, Shining, Nova Master to stop your opponent's plays. And then if you got these on the board and you have it on their super poly on the board, you can swap out into another one of these. It's too good not to play it this way. Then of course Dangerous, if you got a Destiny hero on a super poly, you can get rid of their dark cards. And I kid you not, guys, I shit you not, I haven't had really any serious issues with any deck since I've been playing this deck the way it is. Now, as far as my other super poly target for the main deck, I play Dragon Stepler because Thunder Dragons can be an issue to deal with, but with this in my extra deck, as well as this as an extra backup, like this deck literally is a force to be reckoned with. So, super polys should be main deck, and I believe moving forward, a lot of hero players will see my opinion on this and main deck this, despite the fact of their results. Like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. However, there's always a better method in my personal opinion. Now, as far as the side deck is concerned, this is my personal side deck. 3 Prohibition, 2 Twin Twister, 3 Nibiru, 2 Gamma Seal, 2 Rare Reboot, 3 Artifact Lancia. Lancia, of course, this is for your Orcus and any Orcus variant. You need Lancia. It's a staple. It should not be talked about. If you're not side decking Lancia, you're gonna have a hard time. Using this card against Orcus, a lot of the times you want to use it as a reactive card. For example, if they have an Orcus monster on the board and try to combo off, chain your Lancia before they start getting their monsters to the graveyard, and pretty much you lock out their turn. Against decks like Infernoid, no matter what they do, you want to blind this during their standby phase because they can just banish for cost to bring their monsters out, play their Pot of Desires, things like that, and go off. So you want to play Lancia properly. Nibiru being in the side deck, I main decked 2 for a while at the regions I went to that I got my invite with. I believe I was main decking 2 of these until the ban list changed things up. Ultimately, I like these in the side deck mainly for rogue spam decks, and honestly speaking, the mirror match. Heroes is a real deck, and this craps on our deck. Let's be real, guys. If we get Nibiru, 90% of the time, we lose. Yeah, I know there's videos on Facebook that says we can play through this card, but a well-timed Nibiru can bite a hero player in the ass, especially if you hit it on them when they go on first. They lost, so we can't do anything. And then if you have your follow player in your turn OTKs, we lose. So Nibiru is solid. So yeah, you have to side Nibiru. So that's 6 right there. 2 rare reboosts for back row heavy decks. You need to make sure you stop back row heavy decks. Things that come to mind is Guru Control, random people at your locals that's playing rogue. I hardly ever side these in because I'm not playing against back row heavy decks, but when I do, I got these in there. Kaijus, this is specifically for Sky Strikers and Guru Control. Nothing else. I mean, of course, if you have a deck that relies on a boss monster that, say, Break My Board or Bust, i.e. decks like Buster Blader. Fun fact, I have a deck profile coming next week for Buster Blader, so be on the lookout for that. It's an awesome deck list by a good player in my locals, and he does fairly well with the deck at locals. But anyway, that's neither here or there. You guys will see that deck profile next week. But yeah, Kaijus are just, I believe if you ain't playing Kaijus, like, for the meta, you need it. Like, Sky Strikers, Guru Control. Guru Control is ultimately this deck's worst matchup in my personal opinion. I really had a hard time beating that deck. So yeah, man, this card is definitely needed. Twin Twister for back row heavy decks. Now, when I'm playing against back row heavy decks, I never side in both of these. I only side in rare reboot for decks that run a lot of traps. And it has to be traps that are like game changing, things that Guru Control can use, like floodgate traps. But if it's just regular traps, I'm just gonna side in the Twin Twister. I mean, if I'm playing against Guru Control, I'm siding in both of these. But you guys can get the point. A lot of the times, you don't need more than 2 Twin Twister because Stratos does have a secondary effect of blowing up back row. And you can easily blow up multiple back row if you resolve your Vision Hero Forest, play, spam to the field, and then summon your Stratos to pop a card because you haven't used your normal summon yet. Now, Prohibition or Exchange. I'm on the fence of Prohibition. I know some people like Exchange and or Drag Down to the Grave. Prohibition has a lot of flexibility. You only side this in when you go on first. And like I told you guys, my theory behind Prohibition is this. They make me go first, and I'm confident. Now, you gotta go based on your gut feeling, because I've been a lot of the times recently, I've been feeling people haven't been siding Nibiru in against me, and I've been correct. But if you feel like they're gonna make you go first, and you feel like they're gonna side in 3 Nibiru, or if you're playing against a deck that just can lose to one card that relies on one monster, like Thunder Dragons if they're relying on a Colossus, like decks like Mystic Mindburn if they're Mystic Mind, if they're win condition, Prohibition can just get you there. Now, to be fair, it hasn't been amazing. I might take it on my side deck, and I might just find a different solution for Nibiru. I'm testing this out right now, and it's won me games at locals. The real test is when I go to regionals in January. I'm more than likely going to be side decking this, and that's going to be my test to see if I'm going to be using a lot. Once again, any major level event, this card is going to be good, but you have to get the feel for the card, and you have to obviously open it. But mid-game, this card is good as well because you can top deck it. If you're in a grind game, you and your opponent are down on resources, play it and you're good to go. So this is my side deck in a nutshell. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about what to side in for different matchups. So let's say, for example, if I'm playing against, I know a big one, a viewer was telling me Sky Strikers. How does heroes beat Sky Strikers? Well, we beat Sky Strikers mainly because of Dark Law. Dark Law, if you go first, their resources go to crap, and they can't recur. Now, granted, they typically can shut them off with their Wither Anchor, and they can take control with Mind Control, things of that nature, you know, Super Poly. But what you can side in, typically, talking about the side game now, I can't help you guys win the game one. If you guys are going to have the skill to win game one, that's on y'all. But for the side deck, for Sky Strikers, I side in 2 Twin Twister, and 2 Gamma Seals. Reason being, Twin Twister help out with that back row that Stratos can't help out with, and Gamma Seal, because usually they're going to side in some floodgates and things to try to stop her combos. What I've been finding myself to side out a lot for this deck is Emergency Call. Reason being, the deck has a lot of search. You have your Forest, which can get you into your plays of your Cross Crusader, which searches a hero. Stratos is at 3. This card you really don't need to keep in the deck going into game 2 and 3, especially if you know your opponent's going to side in some goo against you, as the cool kids say. So I usually, for this scenario, I'll side out 3 E-Calls, and let's say, for example, a Super Poly probably, because I more than likely won't need 3 Super Polys against a Sky Striker player. 2 is just fine, because I do play the targets to out their board if need be. And I'm good right there. And honestly, when you think about it, I'm doing a lot of that for the majority of my matchups. So that's Sky Strikers right there. Let's say if I'm and against Guru. 2 rare reboots. And where is my other card there? 2 Gamma Seals. 3 of these come out for Guru Control. Actually, no. Guru Control, I think I Super Poly too. So I'll probably take out, actually leave my consistency in. Take out 3 Super Polys and 1 E-Call. And I go that route for the Guru Control matchup or any super back row heavy deck. For the mirror match, of course, I side out the 3 E-Calls. For the Nibiru, I think I just dropped the card. For Orcus, all I really do, honestly, I leave in my super polys to take out the 3 E-Call for Artifact Lancias, and I'm usually good. If they're playing like a super hyper combo finish, heavy spam to the field deck, like Orcus variant, like a Danger Orcus, or like one of those Link Dragon decks, might side in at 3 Lancias and Gamma Seals, or 3 Lancia and 2 Nibiru, or 3 Nibiru and 2 Lancia, depending on how the matchup goes. What else is meta? Thunder Dragons. If I'm going first, I'm siding in 3 Prohibition. I'm gonna also side in. Well, I main deck Super Poly, so actually just 3 Prohibition. That's it. And I side out the 3 E-Calls because Thunder Dragons, if I go first, they're gonna make me go first once I OTK them. If I open up the Prohibition Nibiru, combo off, make your Dark Law Plasma combo, and you're usually in a good position. Going second against Thunder Dragons, I don't side in Lancia. A lot of you told me to do that, and it's terrible. Like, I understand they want to banish their cards, but depending on the version of Thunder Dragons is how I'm gonna play it out. Like, if they're playing the spam version, 3 Nibiru's, and I'm good for the 3 E-Calls. They're playing the non-spam version. It's a boring, slow version. I'm siding in the 2 Gamma Seals so I don't get wrecked, and taking out 2 E-Calls, and that's pretty much it, honestly, like, for that, because I don't want them to have any extra resources against me. It's like, honestly, Super Poly main deck solves 90% of my issues, and you're going to be siding it in 90% of the time. And heroes like decks like Invoked have targets. So once again, why aren't players main decking this? Infinite Impermanence is amazing. It's a good card, but it's not needed for this deck. It's good, but it's not needed for this deck. That's my opinion. I'm standing on it. So we cover Sky Strikers, we cover Thunders, we cover Guru Control, Salads. I wouldn't even, like, real talk, you don't need a side deck for Salads, bro. Like, when I do play against Salads, I'm siding in Gamma Seals, and Twin Twisters, 3 E-Calls on Super Poly out, and so one Super Poly and 3 E-Calls, you good for the Salad matchup. And if Salads make you go first, of course, side in Prohibitions, call a spinny or something, stop their combos. Like, legit, I just be waxing people's ass 90% of the time because I open up Super Poly and I just OTK. This deck OTK is so fast, it's ridiculous. And honestly, Plasma Pits in work a lot too. So yeah, man, these are all the decks I can really think of. The only really threatening decks for heroes at this time is Thunder Dragons. However, since we are main decking the 3 Super Polys, and depending on what version they're playing, we have an out for it. So yeah, man, this is my side deck video for Heroes in a nutshell. If you guys have any more hero questions, post that in the comment section down below. I'll try to get to it as soon as I possibly can. Also, you guys are new here, I would invite you to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'm uploading at least 3 videos a week. And yeah, man, it's my duty and due diligence to help you guys out. So with all that being said, man, this is Rogue Hero bringing you guys that awesome, best hero content on YouTube in my personal opinion. And I'm signing out, man. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces.